fact. I mean, if they held themselves to the same standard they held us, they'd be calling for an early election already. The fact is that they said anything and everything they could to appeal to the broadest range of people, even when it contradicted itself. And I'm quickly coming to the conclusion that they never had any intention to keep some of these promises. They just hoped that they'll get rid of it and then people will get over it. Well, I'm not sure they will. They went around the country promising everyone a new road, and then we look at the budget and there's a $6 billion hole in it. Could you imagine what they would have said if we produced a transport budget with a $6 billion hole?
Yeah.
And it even comes down to the local level. Look, we have spoken on this show recently about the proposed toll on the New Manawatu Taradua Highway. Now, there were massive public meetings, a huge backlash on that. The two local national MPs, Suze Redmayne and Mike Butterick, refused to oppose the toll. They were asked repeatedly by the locals, will you stand with us and oppose this toll? And they said no. And the day that proposal was scrapped, they both put a video out on social media celebrating the decision. And I thought, you disingenuous so-and-sos, but people notice this stuff.
Yeah.
And it all adds up. Another 2 years of this, and it might be a very interesting election.
Yeah, we found that here in Dunedin, Chewie, all these mayoralty candidates who are like against the redevelopment of George Street. Who do you think was fucking cutting the ribbon when that actually went through in this amazing location that they were against? Went down there and popped the champagne, didn't he? And cut the ribbon, was like, I'm so proud of you, Dunedin. No. You were against this, you dog. Sorry, Chewie, you're in.
I think it's certainly like in your own electorate, that's got to be noticed. Those people that went to those meetings and saw who was there to front for the things that concerned them and who wasn't there. That stuff gets remembered. And I think of the electorates that flipped last election. And I know, how hard a lot of the Labour electorate guys are hustling now because there is so much to hustle for. There are so many things that are important to people, and especially in the regions, that are important to those people. That National, we don't have to listen to you anymore. You voted for us. That's all we needed from you.
Yeah.
Thanks. And this is where it gets won. The next election gets won and lost. You often hear people
go, politics. Sorry, Chewie.
No, you often hear of people going, hey, look, I don't like their party, but this MP is a good electorate MP, so I'm going to vote for him. That's quite a common thing. But I don't see that even in, comments outside of my bubble. I don't see people talking about national MPs in that same way.
Mm.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that is one of the benefits of MMP, is that some people choose to split their votes. I mean, for a long time on the West Coast, the National Party won the party vote right throughout the key years, but they always voted Damien because they knew he was a good local MP. He got tipped out for 3 years and then came straight back and then held it until the last election, And so some electorates do think like that, but it's the greatest irony of New Zealand politics is that rural provincial areas traditionally vote national. Nationals never looked after them, ever. And small rural communities have never been served by a hands-off free market approach. They slowly wither away. It's those governments that are willing to invest in them, usually Labor governments, that help them out. And so, there's going to be many examples like that people will be able to talk about. But the most heartbreaking thing at the moment for us that are based in our various communities is we can see people we know and have grown up with that are hurting as a direct result of this government's policies. Emergency housing is the perfect example. So they promised that they would reduce the numbers in emergency housing, not by housing people. The people that are housed are going into the houses that were paid for and built by the last government. It's come out as a result of Scrutiny Week and other OIAs, etc., that a massive chunk of the people that are the massive reason why the numbers are dropping is because they're just not letting people in. And it is this manufacturing the numbers to prove a point, not because they've solved homelessness, they're making it worse, but because they're saving $20 million a year. And you think they're putting that into community housing? Nah, it's going straight into the centre.
Yeah.
And so that example shows you where their motivations are.